How was your weekend?
Last weekend or this
weekend?
This weekend was very relaxing. As I said, I didn't actually get up to anything. My parents, my brother...
That is a lie. You were up to something on Friday night, which might not be part of the weekend.
Oh my god, that's right. I'm so sorry. We went on a date.
Not really, no.
With our girlfriends. Because we're definitely capable of having girlfriend and fiance. So.
When you say it like that, you sound like we're not capable. You have to be confident. You just don't even double think. You just gotta...
Just do it!
Yeah.
Just do it!
Don't start saying they're from, like, you know, some other place.
Yeah. So,
New Mexico.
mine's from Guatemala. Guatemala. No.
Can't even say she's from Canada, because, like, that's kind of, like, typical what they do for the States. Is, I have a girlfriend. She lives in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh. That's us. We're here in Canada.
Hi. It is super bright out. Good thing you have sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yes, we went with my girlfriend and Alex's fiance to the drive-in theater. And what did we see, Alex?
The first movie that they played was Despicable Me. Actually, probably The Roadrunner.
Yes, I love The Roadrunner.
The Roadrunner's great.
That was like the old-timey, when you went to the drive-in, they showed cartoons first. And keep that up. That was superb.
Yeah, I also really enjoy the come on down to the refreshment stand from like
1950.
Yeah,
that was great. I like that.
But yeah, so the first one was Despicable Me 3, and then the second one was Spider Man Homecoming.
So what did you think of Despicable Me 3?
It was okay, I guess. It kind of felt like they had like a bunch of like almost TV show length bits.
Yeah.
That they just like glued in places. Like there are bits that like this isn't really part of the plot, but it's side plot and it has no real meaning or purpose, but whatever, it's a cool little story of its own. I was very frustrated with the choice of music. Not necessarily the choice of music, because that was great, but the fact that they would only play like maybe 30 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Probably to avoid copyrights and stuff, but
which you know,
it was like, oh man, I love this tune, and then it was like, oh yeah, this is done now. So, Trey Parker was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Trey Parker?
Trey Parker, he was the bad guy.
Oh. Okay.
He sounds like Stan's dad, because that's Trey Parker, right?
Right.
So as soon as they're like, you hear the voice, you close your eyes, you're like, that's Stan's dad. Which is, you know, kind of actually could be Stan's dad.
Yeah.
Like the bad guy? Totally.
Living from his childhood.
Yeah, it was good. What did you think of Despicable Me 3?
I did not like it.
Really?
No. I unfortunately I wanted it to be over because the story, I understand it's a children's movie. I get that. And I understand that the story is going to be predictable. You have your bad guy set up, you have your good guy, and then he teams up with somebody. Spoiler alert. After he's teamed up with them, there's like, they get done, but then there's like this ultra moral problem, and then suddenly they're forced back to solve their problem by getting together and taking on the enemy one last time. And it was just so like, I think when compared to the very first Despicable Me, because this was in an essence the return to villainy, right? It was a bit of a you could even say that there was a bit of a struggle between whether Gru wanted to be a father or whether he wanted to be a villain.
You can be both.
You can be both, but the problem is that this was more of a true return to the original, since the first one was he was a villain first and then a dad eventually came in. Like, that was more of the struggle than the villains he was actually fighting, or maybe the good people he was trying to steal from, because I think he was stealing the moon.
Yeah.
The first one. But this one, it just seemed like The story didn't have a point. It really didn't have a point. Like, was the point about his brother? Was the point about lying to your children about how unicorns are goats, or goats are unicorns, or like I did not enjoy the movie. I guess maybe because I loved the first one, and the use of the minions was tertiary at best.
Which is great, because I think everyone's had enough of the minions.
But to a point, I mean, the minions were what a lot of people got on board with this franchise for. Like, the minions have run their course, I'm not disagreeing, but they're committed to utilizing the minions in almost a primary role, because how many times in the first, and I honestly have not seen the second in full, I've seen a good chunk of it, but not the full second movie, the minions were a primary focus. Like, they were the laughter. Gru wasn't so much the laughter, the minions were the focal point of the laughter. But you very rarely saw the minions.
Well, they had their own little story.
They did, and I guess I just would have preferred them be in on like the heist and their shenanigans and everything and whatever. So, oh well. The little bit at the prison was funny, but everything else I don't know. I did not enjoy that movie. But I thoroughly did enjoy Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
I did.
Going back to Despicable Me 3, did you think that the spoilers, the end, they have the guy cuts a bit of the city out and he lifts it up with bubble gum because the bubble gum inflates and
and it's like a hot air balloon.
Do you think that's kind of like a knock at the Age of Ultron?
Maybe. I never really considered. That church has bells that are ringing.
And no one can hear that in the church because my car is so loud.
That's right.
It's a high-performance muffler, man.
That's right. You just straight piped it. So, no, honestly, I could see that. I never really considered that before, but maybe it is a dig at it.
Just that, like, because the guy's plan is ridiculous. It's like this, like,
oh yeah,
he's just the stupidest person ever.
Oh, totally. And he's just going off the old TV scripts that were, and honestly, like, that TV show looked awful.
And you think, like, that's like they're digging at Age of Ultron, like, no, why would you? No, this is the stupidest idea ever. You have an army of robots. If you want to wipe out the planet, use the army of robots you have. Don't frickin' try to lift it. No, you're stupid.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
There's an easier way to do this.
Or at least a more expansionist way of doing it. But, I don't know. The big thing is that there was never really a major struggle in the movie. Because the battle scenes between Gru... There it is! Our time is up. Thanks very much for watching. The battle between Gru and the Trey Parker is just it was so horrible. There was just no substance to it.
It was a dance battle. I mean, there's that little bit of redemption because he lost the first battle, which is typically like it pretty much followed the exact same route as like Spider-Man did.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that a house?
It's a little shack. A love shack.
The threesome obviously is going on. Good for them. Swingers party. But there was some redemption, and I guess it just wasn't my cup of tea. Maybe, and obviously because it's going to make millions of dollars, it is a lot of people's cup of tea. It just wasn't mine. That's all.
All right.
But what did you think of Spider-Man Homecoming as our second film?
I felt it was a little long. It was really great. I thought the trailers really would have like spoiled everything.
Yeah.
And they did a bit, but I didn't see all the trailers.
I only saw the movie posters with him in his like gold jacket for the academic decathlon. Because
there's a bit where they're on like the DC monument.
Yep.
And he jumps over the helicopter. well, you know that's gonna happen, but it doesn't show what happens next. And I thought that was like, I was like, oh man, know what's going on now.
Yeah.
But then there was like,
but it didn't spoil
still,
it.
Yeah.
At the outset.
Yeah. So that was good. The villain. I maintain that villains have to be like amazing. Like your hero's only as good as your villain.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Which is why I think Batman is probably one of the best.
I was just gonna say the Dark Knight, that was probably the best because Heath Ledger was so good.
And this bad guy, the Vulture, he was menacing. He was terrifying. I don't know if you take your little children to go see that. That's how terrifying I thought he was.
It was very well done.
He almost gave me nightmares. And I really like the direction, I guess, or the overlying moral of the story, which is that you know,
some fresh fruit.
If you need the suit,
fresh fruit for sale.
If you need the suit, then like you don't deserve it. Which is amazing because Iron Man needs the suit.
Yes. He's not gonna go. He doesn't have any capabilities like our Captain America or Hulk. Don't have any natural abilities.
But yeah, that was like a good point. And even like at the beginning, when he's like going on and on and on about this suit, I leaned over Melissa and was like, he's Spider-Man. He shouldn't need the suit. Like, and then they went on with the whole, they took the suit away, and I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Fair point, guys. Good job.
I liked it because it was so well done. I would say, yeah, it was a bit too long, but it was also like 1:45 in the morning when it stopped. Like I was exhausted. I was ready to go home. So that might have helped attribute to the fact that it was taking. And people wouldn't shut their lights off to allow the movie to start. I just don't get that. Anyways, that's not about the movie. Did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
No. The one thing, some of it looked kind of cheesy. I'm not sure if that's just solely because we were watching it at the drive-in, so like the screen's not the best. It's not the best cinematic viewing experience.
Right.
But there were bits that definitely looked very green screened. Like Tony Stark coming out of his Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And there were just a few other ones that I felt were like, eh. Also, he's fighting the Vulture, and like he's Spider-Man, so he's getting beat up quite a bit, but he never has any bruises, and that's what I really liked about like the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
He got his ass kicked.
He got his ass kicked, and it looked like he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And he had to find like excuses for why he got his ass kicked. And even as Spider-Man, when he's getting his ass kicked, he does this really good like half lift himself up and like his head's kind of like just hanging there and then like collapse.
Yeah.
Where you just feel like he's like actually like legitimately like done and exhausted. And I guess they tried to do that this movie, but there's a building on top of him, so how do you...
Yeah. Yeah. If you collapse, you're dead.
So, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I think it was, you know, there's not really aside from Spider-Man 3, there's not really a Spider-Man movie that I don't like.
Yeah, and that's the third one with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, which just had like too many villains in it. This one had a lot of villains in it, but it was kind of more like they're like the henchmen
of the main one, yeah.
The main villain, so it didn't seem like there was too much going on.
Man, spoiler alert. When Falcon was his prom date's dad, I lost my shit. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I so did not see that coming. And you're looking back, you're like, well, that's a great plot twist. And yes, it was. It was outstanding. Because when he opens the door, I'm just like, fuck!
Oh, shit. I love how he pieced it together.
Yeah, slowly.
Like, you can see him figuring it out. It's not like the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, is kind of like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you have a cut on your arm, and I just cut Spider-Man on that same arm.
Yeah, and how could I remember that so clearly and vividly, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I think it was a wonderful setup movie. None of the other Spider-Man films will probably be as good as that one, but I think it was a very good character development one, because you're right, you had the personal struggle of, you know, getting the suit and feeling... Was that your shoulder cracking? I think I just was looking at my arm. And then, you know, you have the fact that Spider-Man is like, I can do this. I'm a big boy just like all the other Avengers.
But he's still trying to, like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't...
Well, he's like he's pre or, like, during, post, whatever, puberty. Like, he's right in the midst of puberty at, like,
yeah, but that
14, 15.
That's not like Batman has a very clear plan of what he's doing when he's, like, going to, you know, break in and
this guy's
kick some ass, and this guy's like, well, let's see.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. See to your pants.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And honestly, to go see those movies, even Despicable Me, I was happy to pay what we paid.
Oh yeah, it was like $10 to get in, and you saw two movies.
Two movies, and then the price of, like, Rachel and I we shared a popcorn, we shared a large drink, and we had Glossette raisins and licorice throughout the night, and plus a refill, which was 25 cents of pop, and it cost us about $10 in concessions. You go to anywhere else, it's going to be at least 15 or 20.
Oh yeah.
Plus the cost of the movies is going to be like $13 a piece.
And you only get one movie.
Yeah.
More if you want to go see it in, like, that fancy...
yeah, the D box.
Or the VIP seating.
Yeah.
Which, have you ever done? You did that once, right?
I did it once.
What did you think of the VIP seating?
It's like you're in your own recliner.
Yeah, but what did you enjoy it? Was it worth it?
Yeah, no. The new seats that recline on their own are just, I find, just as comfortable. Yes, you don't get the factor of friggin' Nyokas. Nyokas! Get out of the way, Nyokas. You don't get the same experience in, like, Stratford cinema chairs.
No.
Those are, like, rock solid 90-degree chairs, basically, slightly reclined at maybe like a 3-degree angle.
I find those chairs more comfortable than the D-box chairs. Have you been in the D-box?
I've never been in the D-box.
I don't know if the D-box is worth it. You get, like, vibrations and rumbles and, like, slight tilt to your seat.
Because they're supposed to be, like, in the action.
Yeah.
And they're usually, like, 15 to 20 bucks a chair.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, and then the 3D's actually on top of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous, but
to be able to go and see two movies for $10 and plus cheap concessions and pop refills of 25 cents. That's it. And they're still making money on that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it, when you go to, like, the big theater, not Stratford, but, like, the big theater, when you get a large pop, refills are free.
Well, they're also charging you, like, $5 or $6 instead of the $3 a large drink was at the drive-in.
That is true.
So check out your local drive-in, because it is important to support local businesses. And it's also, it's a great summer experience. Like, you're not going to go in the wintertime. Absolutely not. But you're going to go at least a couple times. Like, I was actually thinking of maybe going this coming weekend. Because Dunkirk comes out. And War of the Planet of the Apes is first, which I don't really care about. But, still.
My problem, now, I haven't seen War of the Planet of the Apes, so I don't know what it's about.
Either.
Well, we saw the last one.
Did we?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Is that it's like Transformers. At least I feel like they're getting into that groove, Transformers, where it's pretty much the same story over and over and over again. You know, Transformers is, you know, the Decepticons are here and we have to find this thing, and they've, you know, Autobots are against the law and they're being hunted down, and then, you know, by the end of the day, the Autobots have won, and the world's a better place,
and they promise to bond together for the future.
Yeah, we'll learn from our mistakes, but that's not exactly how it goes, because the next movie is the Autobots are being hunted down, and we're in hiding, and blah, 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 blah.
But the problem is that people keep paying to see it. So if you keep paying to see it, you're going to get more of it.
Now, I think this last Transformers movie that came out was one of the lowest grossing Transformer films.
Well, it's probably because, you know, again, people are... you and I would have jumped to go and see the second one, partially because Megan Fox was in it, but we would have gone to see it on opening night, or at least the next weekend.
When it was still fresh and kind of had like an original...
Yeah.
Not original, but like we hadn't really seen Transformers in the
That's
movies.
Right. Now the fifth one is like, well, we might... That was very good. Optimus Prime might pop by the show now. But now we may not even see it in theaters. We may hang out until it comes out on DVD.
And then still not even see it.
Exactly. Just like for me, I haven't seen Fast 8. I still haven't seen it. Just because it has no real interest to me anymore.
I like Fast 8.
I'm glad.
It was good.
She's going to lose her phone.
It was...
I'd zoom in, but it's over her bum, and that's probably going to be flagged for something. But her phone is like 3/4 out of her back pocket, because we all know girls' pants don't have real pockets, unfortunately. That's why girls get us to carry everything for them.
It's true.
Struggle's real.